Hello everybody, this is Simon with the 13th episode of Let's Play Mega Man 4. Last time went by a little quickly, so let's recap, seeing as we won't get much more plot than this. So Cossack didn't really want to take over the world. It was the Doctor whose castle we're invading right now, being less dead than anyone who glazed over the last game's outro might have thought. Wily had the good Russian's daughter Kalinka kidnapped to blackmail him into taking responsibility for the attempt on world domination. Probably just so that Wily could say, "Suckers, it was me all along," after the fact and shoot Cossack or something. Just as Mega beat Cossack's no-effort final defense machine, Proto Man teleported Kalinka in out of nowhere, who in one fell swoop stopped Mega from making Cossack's rod explode under his butt, exposed Wily's plan, and rid him of his hold on her father. Why Proto Man did that, and just in the nick of time, I've got no clue on. Maybe simply because he's a good guy after all, and didn't want his brother to kill the innocent Doctor because Cossack hasn't yet mastered Wily's complete explosion-proofness. Or just because he's oh so mysterious, and in a Capcom story, that means his actions don't have to make any sense, he just does them. If we're lucky, it's awesome. So anyway, after the whole setup tanked, Wily teleports in. How does he do that anyway? Rants a bit, and instead of simply shooting him on the spot, Mega presumably watches as he jumps into his saucer to fly away leisurely in the general direction of his now not so secret anymore castle. But no one noticed him build. Again. So whatever, business as usual, who would have thought. Let's burn this ugly crime against architecture down. This time with a little twist, as I'm going to use no special weapons. The reason for this is that Rain Flush would trivialize the whole affair, and any other weapon are practically useless. The reason is apparent here. Mats. They're as always among the hardest enemies to dodge in the game, which makes this stage kind of tricky because they're the only enemy in it. It still is a rather well designed stage and probably my favorite of the castle stages. A section later on that I do not like on principle notwithstanding. Preventing it from being boring are lots of different match types, for example the dancing one making his triumphant return from Mega Man 3. They're always placed in a way too that makes it most inconvenient for the player. When the terrain is uneven, the jumping 3-shooter guys are placed, having you to work for the one hit they take. Also, as said, dodging not too easy. When you have a flat stretch of level though, the ones who take more shots to kill are placed. Seeing as you cannot know beforehand which type you'll encounter, the first time through this level will have you go slowly or get hit a lot. It's rather well done, is what I'm saying. This is the respawn point for the level, keep in mind that... Oh, damn it, surprise spikes, I hate those. Yeah. Keep in mind that those levels always have only one respawn point, so if you die at the boss, you will have to redo this whole section. It would be perfect for Rush Marine, one of the few very good uses, especially on this jump here. Though you have to turn it off here as you'll bonk your head and die, believe me, I've tried. On the other hand, this is just a really short section and nothing to write home about, so who cares. Rush Marine is still one of the most useless gadgets ever, and whoops, didn't think it would extend that far. But oh well. So how we do we get up there? Well, you know the drill. It's block puzzles. Glitchy block puzzles even. Fortunately this room and the next one are the only rooms in the whole game where block puzzles in it. Why they do have to be there I have no clue, but they're practically mandatory in a Mega Man game for now. I have no idea why. I think this is a good idea. I hate them and I think a lot of people do. Oh, whatever. Nostalgia callbacks, all that. Capcom works on those. But really, this one isn't too bad, you just have to look out, because there is exactly one trap that I narrowly avoided. Or not, because I knew about it beforehand. Otherwise, it's no problem. We're on the home stretch now with those cute little basins full of mats and a free eat. We're going to need that, because the boss is kind of a bitch. It's of course going to be a mat, and it's of course, being a mat, going to be kind of hard to dodge. We'll see about that why. First of all, he will jump, and when he hits the ground, you're going to get stunned. You then have a very limited amount of time to get away from the randomly dropping mats from the ceiling. This jump here especially is really hard to dodge, because the timing is so that you practically have to be sliding already when he's jumping. And in order to jump out of the slide at the right time, you really have to do those button presses right. As you could see here, I got hit even though it was really close, but he has quite a large hitbox. The best thing to deal with this guy probably is to lure him into making short hops, but you will get cornered no matter what. It's far better to get hit by the falling mats on him, so keep that in mind. His weaknesses are Ring Boomerang and Dust Crusher, but both do only 2 lines of damage. Ring Boomerang is probably the best weapon to use if you just want to whittle him down in a damage race. I prefer the Buster to duel him because it makes it easier for me to get the timing to dodge right. But anyway, enough on that boss, it's done. We're off to Wily stage 2 now, see what it has for us, what it holds for us next time. For now, this was Simon with Let's Play Mega Man 4, and thank you very much for your attention.